20 items seniors can immediately declutter from every room for a clutter-free home. Ever walk into a room and feel overwhelmed by stuff you don't even use anymore? You're not alone. Studies show that clutter increases stress, makes daily tasks harder, and can even lead to anxiety and forgetfulness, especially as we age. But here's the good news. You don't have to tackle it all at once. Meet Helen. She's lived in the same cozy home for over 30 years, filling it with memories, keepsakes, and everything she thought she might need someday. But lately, her home feels less like a peaceful retreat and more like a cluttered storage unit. The closets are packed, the drawers won't close, and every surface seems to hold something she meant to sort through but never did. Helen isn't alone. Many seniors find themselves surrounded by things they no longer use, yet struggle to let go of. It's not just about the stuff, it's about the memories attached to them. The what if I need this later thoughts, and the feeling that downsizing means giving something up. But what if decluttering could actually bring more peace, more space, and even more joy? That's exactly what Helen wants, to simplify her home so she can truly enjoy it again. But where does she even begin? That's where today's guide comes in. We're going room by room, showing you exactly what to let go of first to create a lighter, more peaceful home. And don't worry, you don't have to do it all at once. Small steps make a big difference. Do you ever feel like Helen? Let us know in the comments. And if you're ready to reclaim your space, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more practical tips to make life after 60 easier, healthier, and happier. Now let's get started. Living room. Clear the space for comfort. Helen starts in her living room, the heart of her home. It's where she relaxes, reads, and entertains guests. But lately it feels cramped and cluttered instead of cozy and inviting. Sound familiar? If so, here are the first things to tackle. Old magazines and newspapers. Helen loves flipping through magazines with her morning coffee. Over time, though, they've piled up on her coffee table, bookshelves, and even on a chair in the corner. Some are over a year old. Here's the problem. Magazines and newspapers attract dust, take up space, and often never get read again. If it's more than 6 months old, it's time to recycle it. If Helen finds an article or recipe she loves, she takes a picture with her phone and saves it digitally. Be honest, do you have stacks of old newspapers and magazines? Let us know in the comments. Worn-out throw pillows. Throw pillows are meant to add colour, comfort and style, but over time they lose their fluff and start looking worn. Helen's couch is covered in throw pillows that are faded, lumpy and even stained. Instead of making the space cosy, they make it look cluttered and tired. Here's the rule. If your throw pillows have lost their shape, are faded, or you haven't used them in years, it's time to replace or donate them. Helen swaps out a few of her old pillows for ones that are fresh, soft, and actually match her space. Instant upgrade. Excess decorative items. Helen has spent a lifetime collecting souvenirs, trinkets, and decorative pieces. Each one has a memory attached, but together, they create a cluttered and overwhelming space. Too many small items make dusting a nightmare and can make the room feel chaotic instead of cozy. Instead of keeping everything, Helen asks herself, does this truly bring me joy? Would I miss it if it were gone? Is this making my space feel peaceful or cluttered? She chooses a few favourite decorative items, like a framed family photo and a vase from her travels, and stores or donates the rest. Now, her shelves and tables feel open, airy, and intentional. Try this. Take a quick look around your living room. Is there a shelf, table, or surface covered in small decorative items? Challenge yourself to remove half of them and see how much more open your space feels. Unused furniture. Helen's living room has an armchair that no one ever sits in. There's also a side table that's piled with unread mail, an old lamp that doesn't even work, and a bulky entertainment unit she never uses anymore. Extra furniture doesn't just take up space, It makes your home harder to navigate. As we age, a cluttered room can become a safety hazard, increasing the risk of tripping and falling. Helen decides to remove or repurpose the furniture she doesn't need. The result? More open space, easier movement, and a cleaner, more inviting atmosphere. Ask yourself, do you have a chair, table, or other furniture that just collects dust? If so, it might be time to let it go. Helen's living room already feels lighter and more inviting, but the real clutter culprit, it's hiding in the kitchen, and some of it could even be a health risk. Stick around, this next part might surprise you. Kitchen, make cooking easier. After decluttering her living room, Helen moves into the kitchen, the heart of the home. But instead of feeling inspired to cook, she feels frustrated. The cabinets are overflowing, the drawers won't close properly, and finding the right lid for a container feels like a scavenger hunt. Sound familiar? The truth is, a cluttered kitchen makes cooking stressful. It's harder to find what you need, clean up quickly, and enjoy the space. So, let's simplify. Helen starts by clearing out 4 common culprits that are taking up unnecessary space. Expired pantry items. Helen opens her pantry and starts checking dates. Cans, jars, and boxes that have been sitting there for years suddenly stand out. That can of soup, expired 2 years ago. The old bag of flour, way past its prime. Here's the reality. Most pantries have items that are expired, stale, or simply never used. Holding on to them just takes up valuable space. Solution? Check expiration dates and toss anything that's gone bad. Donate unopened, unexpired food you won't use to a local food bank. Organize by category so you can easily see what you have. Go ahead, check a few dates in your pantry right now. Did you find anything expired? Let us know in the comments. Mismatched food containers. Helen's kitchen drawers are stuffed with plastic containers, but there's a problem. Half of them are missing lids. Some have cracks, others are stained, and a few have warped from the microwave. It's frustrating every time she tries to pack leftovers. If you've got containers with no matching lids, or lids with no matching bottoms, it's time to part ways. Decluttering hack. Match each container with its lid. If there's no match, it goes. Get rid of old, stained, or cracked containers. Stick to a few versatile sizes that stack easily. Helen pares down her collection to just a few high-quality matching sets, making storage easier and meal prep stress-free. Excess mugs and cups. Helen opens a cabinet and sees a mountain of mugs. She doesn't even drink coffee, yet she has over 20 mugs collected from trips, gifts, and events. The problem? She only ever uses 3. Sound familiar? Mugs and cups tend to multiply over time, but keeping too many just makes the kitchen more cluttered. Helen sorts through them and keeps only her favourites, the ones she actually enjoys using. The rest, donated or repurposed. Try this. Take a look at your mug collection. How many do you actually use? Challenge yourself to cut it in half. Old cookware. Helen's pots and pans have seen better days. The non-stick pan, more scratch than surface. The old baking sheet, warped and rusting. Worn-out cookware isn't just annoying, it can also be a health risk. Scratched non-stick coatings can release harmful chemicals, and warped or rusty pans don't cook food evenly. How to declutter cookware. Toss anything with deep scratches, rust, or peeling non-stick coating. Keep only the pots and pans you actually use. Invest in 1 or 2 quality pieces instead of holding on to a dozen worn-out ones. Helen keeps her go-to frying pan, 1 good saucepan, and a sturdy baking sheet. Everything else? Gone. Her cabinets are suddenly so much easier to navigate. Which kitchen item do you think is hardest to let go of? Drop a comment below. Helen's kitchen feels lighter already. But the next room? It's where clutter really piles up, and some of it could even be dangerous. Let's head to the bedroom. Helen moves into her bedroom, hoping for a sense of calm. But instead, it feels cramped and chaotic. Closets overflowing, shoes scattered, and a nightstand stacked with random items. Your bedroom should be a place of rest, not storage. If clutter is creeping in, It's time to clear the space and create a sanctuary for better sleep and peace of mind. Clothes that don't fit or aren't worn. Helen opens her closet and sees rows of clothes she hasn't touched in years. Some are too tight, some are outdated, and others she's simply fallen out of love with. But still, they stay, just in case. Here's the reality. If you haven't worn it in a year, you probably won't. Holding on to clothes out of guilt or what-ifs just makes it harder to find the ones you actually enjoy wearing. Decluttering hack. Try the hanger trick. Turn all your hangers backward. After wearing something, put it back normally. In 6 months, anything still on a backward hanger goes. Donate good condition clothes to charities or shelters. Keep only the items that fit, flatter, and make you feel good. Be honest. How many unworn clothes are hanging in your closet right now? Tell us in the comments. Worn out bedding. Helen pulls back the sheets and realizes her pillows are lumpy and her sheets are thinning. Over time, bedding wears out and can even harbor dust mites and allergens. For better sleep and a fresher feel, it's worth replacing old bedding. Replace pillows every 1 to 2 years for better support and hygiene. If sheets are pilling, tearing, or feel scratchy, upgrade to a fresh set. Declutter excess blankets. Keep only what you actually use. Helen swaps out her worn-out bedding for a crisp, comfortable set. The result? Instantly more inviting and restful. Excess shoes. Helen glances at the pile of shoes in her closet. Heels she never wears, sneakers that pinch her toes, sandals with broken straps. Sound familiar? Shoes that hurt, don't fit, or just gather dust aren't worth keeping. Decluttering hack. Keep comfortable, supportive shoes you actually wear. Get rid of shoes that cause pain or have seen better days. Donate good condition pairs to those in need. Helen keeps just a few pairs of everyday favorites, and suddenly, finding the right shoes is effortless. Costume jewelry you never wear. Jewelry boxes can be a hidden source of clutter. Helen finds pieces she bought on a whim. Old costume jewelry that's tarnished, and gifts she never really liked. Instead of holding on to jewelry just because, keep only the special and meaningful pieces. If you never wear it, let it go. Pass down sentimental pieces to family members who'd appreciate them. Donate or recycle broken or outdated pieces. Helen keeps her favorite sentimental pieces and donates the rest, making her jewelry box feel organized and intentional. With her bedroom finally clutter-free, Helen feels more at peace. But the next space, it's where clutter really sneaks up, and it can quickly get overwhelming. Let's talk about paper clutter. Helen steps into her home office, expecting to tackle some light decluttering, only to be met with overflowing file folders, tangled cords, and a drawer full of dried-up pens. Paper clutter and forgotten gadgets are some of the hardest things to part with, but they pile up faster than we realize. A clutter-free workspace means less stress, better focus, and more room to enjoy the things that truly matter. Old bills and paperwork. Helen flips through stacks of old utility bills, bank statements, and outdated documents, most of which she hasn't touched in years. Here's the truth. Most paperwork doesn't need to take up space in your home. Digitize important documents, scan and store them securely. Shred old bills and sensitive paperwork that no longer serve a purpose. Keep only the essentials: tax records, legal documents, and medical records. What's the oldest piece of paperwork you've found lying around? Let us know in the comments. Outdated electronics and cords. Helen opens a drawer and finds a tangled mess of mystery cables, an old flip phone, and a charger for a device she doesn't even own anymore. If you don't know what it belongs to, you don't need it. Match every cord to a device. If you can't, it's clutter. Recycle or donate old electronics instead of letting them collect dust. Use labeled organizers to store only the necessary chargers and accessories. Helen sorts through the mess, keeping just the essentials. Suddenly, her drawers aren't a black hole of forgotten tech. Unused office supplies. Helen reaches for a pen, only to find half of them don't even work. Meanwhile, stacks of sticky notes, dried-up markers, and empty notebooks clutter her desk. Pens that don't work, stacks of sticky notes. Keep only what you use. Test all your pens and markers. If they don't work, toss them. Keep only a reasonable amount of sticky notes, notebooks and office supplies. Donate excess supplies to schools or community centres. With a few simple changes, Helen's office transforms from a chaotic paper trap to a clean, functional space. Decluttering isn't just about clearing space, it's about clearing your mind. A clutter-free office means less stress, fewer distractions, and more time to focus on what matters. With her office in order, Helen feels lighter already. But there's one last space where clutter loves to hide, and it's time to tackle it next. Let's head to the bathroom. Bathroom. Simplify for safety. Helen moves to the bathroom, a small space that somehow collects more clutter than any other room. Expired medications, half-used toiletries, and stacks of old towels take up valuable space, while also posing safety risks. A clutter-free bathroom isn't just about organization, it's about safety, hygiene, and ease of use. Expired medications. Helen checks her medicine cabinet and finds expired painkillers, old prescriptions, and half-empty bottles she forgot about. Outdated medications can be ineffective or even dangerous. Check expiration dates, discard anything expired. Dispose of medications safely, never flush them, take them to a pharmacy or a proper disposal site. Keep only necessary medications, store them in a labelled, easy-to-access container. Have you ever found a shockingly old medication in your cabinet? Tell us in the comments. Half-used toiletries. Helen has half-empty shampoo bottles, dried-up lotions, and a collection of hotel soaps she'll never use. If it's collecting dust, it's just taking up space. Toss expired or dried-out products. Use up half-full bottles before opening new ones. Donate unopened items to shelters if they're still good. Helen simplifies her routine, and suddenly, her bathroom feels twice as spacious. Old towels. Helen's linen closet is stuffed with frayed, stained, and mismatched towels she never reaches for. Fresh, soft towels make daily routines more enjoyable. Keep only what you use regularly. Repurpose old towels for cleaning rags or pet bedding. Donate extras to animal shelters. With less clutter and more organization, Helen's bathroom now feels safe, fresh, and easy to navigate. Helen is almost done, but there's one last category of clutter that sneaks into every part of the home. Let's talk about sentimental items. Helen takes a deep breath as she steps into the garage, the final frontier of clutter. This space has become a catch-all for forgotten items, old tools and sentimental things she can't quite let go of. But today, that changes. Decluttering the garage isn't just about making space, it's about reclaiming control over what truly matters. Broken or unused tools and gadgets. Helen finds a rusty drill, a box of tangled extension cords, and an old lawnmower that hasn't worked in years. She kept them thinking, I might need this one day, but the truth? She never does. If it's broken and hasn't been repaired, let it go. If it's a duplicate, keep only the one you use most. Donate working tools to community programs or local repair shops. Helen realizes that holding on to things just in case is really just delaying the inevitable. What's one tool or gadget in your garage that's collecting dust? Let us know in the comments. Sentimental clutter. Keep the memories, not the stuff. Helen reaches the toughest part. Boxes filled with old gifts, childhood toys and keepsakes from loved ones. She holds onto a stack of birthday cards, an old wedding dress and her children's artwork from decades ago. She wonders, if I get rid of this, am I letting go of the memories? But then she reminds herself, memories aren't in things, they're in her heart. Keep a few truly meaningful items. Digitize letters, photos or artwork to preserve the memory without the clutter. Pass sentimental items to family members who would appreciate them. Helen carefully selects a few treasures to keep and lets go of the rest, knowing that she isn't losing. She's gaining space, freedom and peace. Helen stands in her living room, taking it all in. The clutter is gone. The space feels open, calm, and inviting. Gone are the piles of newspapers, the extra furniture no one used, and the stacks of forgotten trinkets. Now, every item in her home has a purpose. She walks into the kitchen. No more expired food, mismatched containers, or overcrowded drawers. Cooking feels simple again. In the bedroom, her closet holds only clothes she loves. Her bed is made with fresh, comfortable sheets. It's finally the restful retreat she's wanted. And most importantly, Helen feels lighter. She realizes that decluttering isn't just about getting rid of things. It's about making space for peace, for clarity, for a home that truly feels like home again. Small changes lead to big transformations. Less clutter means more freedom. A peaceful home starts with one small decision: letting go. What's one room in your home you'd love to declutter first? Let us know in the comments. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button and share it with a friend who needs a fresh